Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. Twitter is dead. Or so you keep telling me, because no one uses Twitter anymore. However, I just don't actually feel that's the case. There's still life in Twitter. And just because Twitter's different, just because it's more noisy, and just because people aren't using it as the same as they used to do, does it mean you shouldn't be on Twitter? No. Twitter is an amazing platform, and it still has a lot of things on Twitter that you cannot do on any other platforms. Just because it's got that small 140 character limit, there's still things about Twitter that work better than they do on a lot of other platforms. So should you axe your Twitter? I don't think you should. And here's a few things that I think you should be doing to engage your Twitter audience. Number one, Twitter is still a really good search engine. You know, I talk about YouTube being the best search engine for entertainment, but if it comes to finding people, then Twitter's a fantastic search engine. And I do think that musicians and people should be using Twitter to find other bands. When people talk about collabs all the time, how do we get collabs? Well, you go and find other bands and you talk to them. How do you do that? Well, Twitter's a perfect way of doing that. So if you want to start conversation, Twitter is a fantastic way of doing it. So here's a thing. Use Twitter as a search engine. And also, if you're thinking about what content you want to put out, then how about this? Then you guys know how I feel about auto scheduling. But here's an example of where I contradict myself and where auto scheduling can be okay. Why not come up with 100 things that you want to say to people, things that you stand for as an artist, things that you stand for as a band, where the history of the bands come from, old records that you love, more bands that are ongoing at the moment that you love. Find 100 things that you can talk about and write 100 statuses and write them down. Write them down on your computer, write them down on your phone. And then you can auto schedule them, should you want to, into the next couple of weeks or months of your Twitter. So it starts to build a bit of engagement. If you want to have competitions on there, you can. But you can do everything in one go. You know, I did this last night. I sat there and I just wrote tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. And that way, I have done the hard work for Twitter, and then when I want to post them, I can. I can either do them one at a time, or I can auto schedule them from now until the end of time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, and this is the key bit with auto scheduling, I'm going to make sure that whenever I get any reaction, any engagement, I have the pop-up on my phone, so I'm not leaving people hanging. So if you tweet me, a little thing pops up on my phone and it says, you've had a like, you've had a retweet, you've had a comment on your Twitter. And that way, it's okay to auto schedule if I'm going to be there to engage with the people who are engaging with me. But what it does is it allows me to plan my Twitter in advance should I want to. If I've got any great videos that I want to show, if I've got any great feelings that I want to do, and then interspersed with that, then I can have more of the kind of daily, this is how I'm feeling type stuff. But Twitter has got some great advantages to it that you don't get as much on Instagram. You don't get as much on other platforms like Facebook. And I don't think Twitter's dead. I think Twitter is very much alive. It's how you use it. And it's just a lazy thing to say, fuck Twitter, let's just get rid of it. We don't need it anymore. So take it seriously, because it's a really good platform. And it's also something that links everything together very well. If you've got a video going on YouTube, you can push it out on your Twitter. If you've got questions you want asked, you can push it out on Twitter. If you've got a competition, you can push that out on Twitter. You can link your Twitter without actually linking, but you can have Twitter as a great link to all the great things that you're doing. So have a think about Twitter, because I don't think it's dead, and I do think it's a great platform. And until it actually is dead, until it's gone, until it's Vine, until it RIP, that you can't use it anymore, until that happens, it's still a great social media platform, so use it. It's still got a massive reach all over the world. Still a good way of engaging with people, talking to people, building relationships with people, and getting your point across. Have a think about it, and more importantly, go and actually put some time and effort into what you want to say on Twitter every single day. Any questions, give me a shout. You know the usual, I'm on Twitter, Damian Keys, Snapchat, Instagram, the usual, YouTube, Facebook. We're working on some new types of content at the moment, so you'll see how that works. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow.